A 3-year-old girl is in hospital tonight after she was injured outside of her home, outside of Vancouver. She'd been playing on her family's backyard deck when a black bear attacked her. A parent managed to chase the animal away, but police say that a bear kept returning to the area. Officers responding found one nearby and killed it, believing it was the one that attacked the child. Now police say that they were wrong. A necropsy shows that they killed a different bear, and the one responsible is still on the loose. Conservation officers are trying to find it. So how unusual is this behavior from bears? And what made the RCMP believe that they had shot the correct one? Lana Chernello is the co-chair of the IUCN Bear Specialist Group, Human Bear Conflicts Team. She's been studying grizzly bears for over 30 years, joins me now. Lana, well, thank you for joining us. And let me just start by asking, the RCMP, we've just learned in the last little while here that the wrong bear was killed. What do you make of that?
Yes, well, that's very unfortunate that the wrong bear was killed. But it also speaks volumes to the situation. The fact that you have other black bears in and around this community and frequenting this community tells us that we have an attractant issue going on.
An attractant issue, and you're talking about a food source of some kind.
Yes, I'm talking about a food source of some kind, and most likely garbage, which is our worst food source for bears, because it allows bears to make that direct connection between humans and food. And we never want that made. We call those bears food conditioned. When you take that and you combine that with habituation, which is a lack of fear of humans, those two behaviors coming together can produce very dangerous bear-human encounters.
So you have studied, grizzly bears for 30 years. For those who are unfamiliar maybe with black bears versus a grizzly, I mean, these are very different animals. How, concerned should people be if they encounter a black bear?
Yes, well, I've studied black bears too. My master's was black bears and my PhD with grizzly bears. So I've got experience with both. Grizzly bears, they're a bit different for sure. They're more our true wilderness species. So I liken this, if you think of kind of the wolf coyotes, your coyotes hang out in town. They're much more edge adaptive. Those are our black bears. Grizzly bears are your much more true wilderness species. When you encounter them in the backcountry, in surprise encounters, they usually mean business. Whereas black bears, they tend to bluff around a lot, and encounters can be much less with a black bear.
I mean, I will say I live in an area that has a green belt behind it, and seeing a black bear in our neighborhood is truly not uncommon. And initially it was frightening when we were brand new to the neighborhood, and now it's certainly a lot less so because we have, encountered them so often. So what has happened here, a 3-year-old being, mauled on their back deck, that does seem very unusual in terms of the behavior to me.
It is very, very rare. It's extremely rare. I tried to look up in our databases when we've had such a thing, and I can't even really find any, even when I look in Alaska. It's very rare for these bears to attack. It's very rare for urban bears to attack too, because they know people and people are there. But usually what this indicates is that bear has had food conditioning and has likely been feeding on people's garbage in and around there. And sometimes with these younger ones, particularly these sub-adults, they test their boundaries and see what they can get. And a small child, it's terrible. It's a horrific accident, and I feel terrible for these people that this occurred to, but it does make evolutionary sense, right? It's a small child and it's a bear. So those two factors coming together and food conditioning coming together, these are large carnivores. They are dangerous. And we need to keep that in mind, and we need to manage appropriately our attractants when we live in bear country.
Yeah, so let me ask you, let's assume that this was a house that was sort of in a rural part of Maple Ridge. So there is wooded area around it. Let's assume that this is a family that has seen bears before, I would, possibly regularly, and that they were doing what they thought was enough to keep the garbage inside and in a freezer, which are all the things that are suggested, but that, is proving to maybe not be enough. What more needs to happen here? Because as I say, you have communities where bears are a regular thing. And if this is a possibility, do we just not build in these areas? Do we not have homes next to the wooded area like this? Because I'm not, is just keeping the garbage inside a freezer going to be enough?
Right. Excellent question. No, and these people could have been doing absolutely everything right. They could have been doing absolutely everything right. It takes a community. The whole community has to be doing things right. Same thing if you're camping in a tent. You've got to make sure that spot was clean before you, because that bear is not going to differentiate that tent from someone else, the next person coming in. It's the same thing in a community, in a house, right? It hits one house, it can be way down the block. Someone can be doing absolutely everything right in their yard, and they're still going to be paying the consequences of what wasn't done right down that block, right? Does that make sense? It takes a whole community to come together and do this. And we have an excellent program in British Columbia. It's called Bear Smart. It's the BC Bear Smart program. It gives you steps on how to become Bear Smart and what needs to be done. And this is everything from attractant management to your garbage, but to education of the public, to securing all of the attractants, to municipal bylaws for people who aren't willing to put in the coexistence measures just because we are living in bear country, to fines, all these things. So it's a program that brings everything together in those steps to try to take that out so that we can coexist with our large carnivores.
Okay. Lana Trinello, a human-bear conflicts expert. Lana, thank you.
Thank you for having me.